Hey everybody, wake up. This is Wake Up with Mark Joyner, episode number 112. And today I'm going to show you some graphic images of what is inside your water. All right, before I show you this, I'm going to tell you something. It's kind of funny. A lot of people will tell me things like, Mark, why don't you talk more about making money? You would actually get a bigger audience if you were talking more about that and less about a lot of this health stuff. I am telling you how to make more money. All right. If you are not building your character and you are not improving your health, you are not going to make as much money. In fact, all the money that you make, you are going to lose. I believe that is the way that the universe is designed. I think there is a governor system in place that will prevent you from being able to hold on to the money that you have if your character is bad, if your health is bad. You will pay the price. You will pay the price for these things. Now, another thing people ask me is, why are you so obsessed with your health? You must be crazy to be so obsessed with health. Well, I think you're crazy if you're not obsessed with your health. I think that we are living in an insane, mad society of brainwashed and hypnotized people who somehow think that it is more important to sit in front of a screen and have their minds programmed by inane bullshit while they stuff poison into their faces than to go spend time actually doing something to improve themselves. And those of us who are obsessed with our health, we're the crazy ones. Cool story, bro. All right, so let me show you something here that is going to be maybe shocking to some of you. I hope so. This is the bottom half of a water distiller unit that it's one of the things that I've been adding on. I'm slowly, in a Kaizen-like process, improving this place here with my roommates. And one of the things that I recently added into our mix is this water distiller, because the water that we have here is not so good. Even the bottled water that we got, if you guys are on my personal Facebook profile, if you go a few videos back, you can see a video that I shot there showing you some ways that I was testing the water, some different tools that you can use. And I was, digging deep into the rabbit hole of water quality. It's not a very simple conversation. Water purity is not the only thing you have to worry about here. And it's a far subtler, far more nuanced conversation that I'm going to get into here today. You guys can scroll back to that video and check that out. I get into some detail about ways that you can test your water and the pros and cons of different approaches. Okay, now, with distillation, the way this works is it uses heat, and then it has usually a fan on top. And then that heated water vaporizes, the fan sucks it up, and then it goes through a little spigot and then drops down. Now, why does that clean the water? Well, that is the process of distillation. And this, the process of distillation removes all of the particulates, most of them, because when water vaporizes, it tends to be very, very pure water in that vaporized form. Now, I want to show you the bottom of this thing. Now, this is only after using this a few times. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. You guys see all that dirty brown crap at the bottom of that? This thing was perfectly clean stainless steel when we started, by the way. I would not use an aluminum or any other material. Stainless is one of the safest ways to go. We'll talk about why here in a second. That was perfectly clean. What you see there is us doing that after about maybe 5 or 6 rounds using the water. Okay, and I've actually rinsed it out several times since then. Every now and then what you got to do is you got to get some, cleaning solution and actually clean that gunk off, because you can't let it cake up too much. Now, it's okay if there's some there, because again, the distillation process is removing all the crap. So, here's what I want you to ponder. If you are not filtering it out before you drink it, as the great Paul Chek says, you are the filter. Okay? Think about that. anything that you don't pull out, your kidney has the extra job of having to pull that gunk out of the water. That means that you are not going to be filtering out and detoxifying yourself all of the junk and the metabolic waste products, the exogenous waste products, and poisons and toxins that you have in your body. You are going to be less efficient at getting rid of those things. And this is one of the reasons why we get sick, is that our detoxification pathways are not functioning at their full capacity. Now, I heard a very, very interesting metaphor many years ago about how to look at this. Imagine that your body is like a bucket, and that your capacity for holding on to toxins is that bucket. Now, all of the different detoxification pathways that we have, like, for example, defecation is one, urination is one, sweating is one. Any way that you are removing things from your body, we tend to slough stuff off. One of the primary ones, of course, is, through your urinary tract, right? As you drink water, that water is, collecting things. It's, things are attaching to that and being drawn out in your urine. Okay, this is why your urine is not perfectly clear. Okay, there's color in there because your body is getting rid of waste products. Now, imagine that you have a really, really large spigot at the bottom of that bucket. Okay, what that means is the more you put in there, the faster, the more efficiently you are able to get rid of these waste products. If that spigot is more narrow, it's going to take a lot longer to get rid of that stuff. Well, the quality of your water is like narrowing and broadening the spigot. If the quality of your water is higher, if your water has fewer impurities in it, you are going to be able to draw more stuff out. The size of that spigot is increased. Now, again, this is a deep rabbit hole. There are reasons why some people would say distilled water is not the best choice. You can go to that other video that I posted. If you scroll down, you'll see 3 glasses of water and a couple little devices in front of it. I'm showing you how to use those devices, and also the pros and cons of different approaches to water purification. Now, you might think, well, how big of a deal is this? I mean, how much stuff was that at the bottom of that container there? It looks like, maybe a millimeter or so of stuff that was built up. Well, consider this. How much mercury does your body have to have before it becomes a real serious problem? Very, very tiny, tiny amounts of mercury can cause huge problems in your body. Same thing with aluminum. All right. Now, we don't know what those particulates are. I have no idea. But what I do know is this. I would rather have purer water that is more likely to have less stuff like fluoride, mercury, aluminum, a lot of the junk that you are actually going to find in water. I would like to have less of that in my body. If you don't really know that much about this yet, go on a rabbit hole dive sometime and find out what mercury toxicity does to you and how common it is. Okay, find out what aluminum toxicity does to you and how common it is. This is a controversial topic for a lot of people. It is not for me. I think fluoride is total bullshit. I don't think you should be putting fluoride in your toothpaste in your body in any way, shape, or form. I think it's obscene that we are putting it in water. Personally, that's my personal opinion. You go down that rabbit hole and you do your own research yourself. Okay, but what I would recommend you do is get multiple sources of information. If the only source of information you're getting on fluoride, for example, is from the people who are advocating fluoride, well, then of course you're going to get only one side of the story. Look for different sides of the story. Look for different countries, by the way. There are countries that have outlawed the addition of fluoride in their water. There are regions in the United States where they have outlawed the addition of fluoride in their water. Why? They have been exposed to what I think are some pretty compelling cases for the absolute uselessness of fluoride. In fact, it's beyond useless. It's actually quite harmful, I believe. That is a conclusion I have come to at the end of my research. Anyway, you do your own research. You think about these things yourself. We're all big boys and girls, but I would caution you to not only accept mainstream sources of information, okay? Because often a lot of the information that we get in the mainstream is corrupted by financial and other interests. That is a fact. It is a documented fact. I don't believe it is even controversial to say that at this point. If you don't believe that that's happening, you truly have your head buried in the sand, okay? Because there is so much clear evidence to show that there are people out there trying to corrupt our information set to get us to believe certain things. Okay, now some people go down crazy rabbit holes and start speculating about things that they just can't know. Speculation is one thing, fact is another. Look at the factual data that we have about how corrupt often even our scientific institutions, sadly, as somebody who considers himself not just an artist and a marketer, but also a scientist, I am greatly annoyed by that, but I'm not going to pretend that it is not true. I'm not going to blindly accept everything that comes out with the label of science just because it has the label of science. These institutions are run by humans just like all other institutions and therefore are corruptible. So, broaden your source of information. Start thinking deeply about what you are doing to your body and think about the consequences of not thinking deeply about what's going on in your body and not taking that seriously. If you are content to anesthetize yourself with television and opiates and food and allow that to blunt the pain that bad habits is causing you, then that's your choice. And it is also your price that you will have to pay. And it does catch up to you. Having experienced that, on the extreme end of the spectrum, I would tell you that being aware of your health and taking it seriously and doing the hard work required to make yourself healthy and to challenge yourself and to force yourself to grow is far, far better than any other alternative. That is my experience. You have your own experience. All right, you take care now. You have a beautiful day, and I'll